Hello, and welcome to the ADF Active Introduction to Meditation. If you're listening to this podcast, there's a good chance you've begun the journey towards becoming a member of the Australian Defence Force. Congratulations on taking your first steps down this exciting path. Getting fit enough to pass the ADF pre-entry fitness assessment is a big commitment. And as is the case when preparing for any important test, you may feel some stress or anxiety over the coming days and weeks. So we've put a series of meditations together to help you relax and maybe sleep better while still focusing on your goal. But before we try one, let's talk about the M word. For no particular reason, meditation can have negative connotations for some people. Meditation isn't for me, or I couldn't stop thinking, so I must have been doing it wrong, and I can't sit still long enough to meditate are some of the things you may have heard. Or simply, I fall asleep as soon as I try to meditate, so I don't see the point. Research, however, suggests that meditation really does work, and it works for pretty much anyone who's willing to give it a proper try. And I have a few tips that might help you through some of the pitfalls of starting to meditate. I'll share those tips now, then a little later we'll do a simple meditation to get you started. Many people have studied the benefits of meditation under research conditions. What they've discovered is that people who meditate can enjoy increased clarity and concentration, less anxiety, a greater sense of calm, lowered blood pressure, greater health and well-being, better sleep patterns, less anger, and a greater ability to deal with stress. And that's just the start of it. It's clear that meditation works, and from my experience, it can work for anyone, even you. So why do people find it challenging to meditate? Well, apparently, we all have roughly 60,000 thoughts in an average day, and most of these thoughts are the same ones you had yesterday and even last week. But they're happening so quickly you don't notice them. In fact, you're probably only aware of between 1,000 and 2,000 thoughts a day if you're paying attention. So when we stop and sit quietly to meditate, what do we notice? A lot of thoughts. But we fail to realize that they were actually there all the time. It's just that we are now quiet enough to notice them. Remember the old saying, what we resist persists? This often applies to people when they first try meditation. And trust me, you won't get very far if you try to stop thinking. People try to ignore the thoughts that are invading their meditation time, and this is often when things fall apart. Imagine trying to ignore the phone ringing or a text message coming in. It's pretty challenging. But if you have something more important to do, you'll make a conscious decision to put your phone on silent and know that it's okay for the calls and text messages to be ignored for a while. Well, it's the same for meditation. The important thoughts will always return again later. So, if you're sitting in meditation and you notice that you've drifted off in thought, then allow that to be okay. Don't be hard on yourself. You're actually noticing what happens to us every single day. In fact, it's a good thing to notice you've drifted off, and it's even better that you're now aware of it. Just acknowledge the thought you had. Allow it to be okay that you disappeared into that thought, and then come back to your meditation. Put simply, go easy on yourself. Another common challenge people have when they first start meditating is with sitting still. So if you think this might be you, I suggest doing some exercise or movement just before you meditate. This could be as simple as just shaking your arms, legs, and whole body for 2 to 5 minutes before you sit down. This could be as simple as just shaking your arms, legs, and whole body for 2 to 5 minutes before you sit down. This is a great way of releasing the jitters and could help you feel more physically settled when you do sit down to meditate. The other thing is the sleep factor. Sometimes very active people will fall asleep when they relax. So, I suggest if you're one of these people, to always sit in a position where it won't be easy for you to fall asleep. Maybe sit in a chair with your feet on the ground, your hands in your lap, and sitting up straight, but with your back not touching the backrest of the chair, so you're relaxed but diligent. These suggestions should help you get started. So while they're fresh in your mind, how about we have a go at a meditation? Take a moment to get yourself into a comfortable sitting position with your feet flat on the ground or your legs crossed. Rest the palms of your hands in your lap, facing upwards, or place your hands on your knees with your palms facing down. Your spine should be straight, yet relaxed, and relax your stomach while breathing at your own natural pace. Keep your eyes open for a minute. Notice the environment around you. Notice the room or the place where you're sitting. What do you notice in the room? Let your eyes drift around the space to notice the furniture and other items in the room. If you notice anything that needs adjusting or fixing, allow it to be okay without making any adjustments right now. Notice any sounds in your environment that you can hear apart from my voice. Be open to allowing these sounds to be okay. Slowly inhale, and as you exhale, gently close your eyes. With your eyes closed, notice the outside sounds again one more time. Allow whatever you hear to be okay. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin without needing to change anything. Just notice. Notice your thoughts. Notice the thoughts moving through your mind. Just notice the headlines of the thoughts rather than the detail. Hungry, itchy nose, what's for dinner? Just notice the topic rather than analyzing the thought. If you catch yourself drifting off into a thought, acknowledge the thought. Allow whatever it is to be okay. Then bring your focus back to the surface of the thoughts. Without making any changes, notice your breath. Notice if you're breathing through your nose or mouth. Notice the coolness or warmth as the air enters. Notice the coolness or warmth as the breath enters and leaves your body. Notice which parts of your body are moving as you inhale. And notice which parts of your body move as you exhale. Notice your shoulders. Notice if they move up and down with your breath. Notice if your shoulders feel tense, relaxed, or something else. Allow whatever sensation you have in your shoulders to be okay. Now, without physically moving your body, allow your shoulders to relax a little on the exhale, gently noticing your shoulders. Notice any change in your shoulders as you continue to focus on them. Now take a deep breath in and let out a sigh when you exhale, letting go of this meditation. So how'd you go? Remember that tip to go easy on yourself? It's good to have a short burst like this to help you get used to sitting in a meditative state. Try repeating this short meditation a few times to help you settle into it before moving on to the other meditations featured on ADF Active. Finally, I just want to remind you that now you've listened to this podcast all the way to the end, you've begun your meditation journey. So congratulations, well done to you.